Once again, we return to Osun State, where we have News Central correspondent Mercy Babajide, who is she is in Osun, covering the match like we spoke from before, as we spoke to Bernard Akede, the March for Peaceful Elections and also anti-terrorism. She's also going to be telling us other details of what's happening at the moment. Mercy, good morning. Thank you very much for joining Breakfast Extra. Do give us an idea of what's happening in Osun this morning.
Then the major catch this morning is a tweet from Dele Momodu on X, where he spoke about his candid advice to Governor Adeleke, and he said the Progressive Congress will do anything to, of course, come in power. But then let's take into cognizance the fact that earlier this week when we landed in Osogbo, we were told by one of the persons living here about how the governor has reassured them of their safety. And then again, we attended one of the APC's campaign rallies yesterday, and there were songs they were chanting about their court party, stating that, oh, their party does not deal with guns. So now it feels like there's a contradiction given the advice that Dele Momodu, of course, gave the governor this morning on his X.
Okay, then, what about the situation there? There's plenty of chat about the, well, I don't want to call it agitations, but I guess I'll have to. The political agitations going on between both parties, especially between Adeleke and Babajide. Have you heard anything? What are the people saying? What is the chatter around town?
Around town is the fact that some persons, of course, you know, it will be divided. We have people for Babajide, we have the people for Accord Party, but one would say we don't know whether they are loyal or not. But then something that is quite visible is the fact that APC has been able to garner a lot of supporters. At sort of 8:30 p.m. Yesterday, we were on our way from Ifetedo to Osogbo. It was about 3-4 hours drive. And all through the streets, we had people lined up shouting AMBO, AMBO. And AMBO is the slogan for the All Progressive Congress. But then part of the conversations we had with the media director for the campaign was whether this crowd would, of course, suffice and mean they have large voters. But then we cannot categorically say whether the crowd polling would result to having that votes.
And the tension, is there any at all? Do you think that the peace accord that was signed by the parties is going to hold until after the election?
Well, we do pray it holds, and from Bernard's perspective, I saw a lot of police officers in every junction, and I mean, I don't know if they've resumed this morning, but it looks like they've not resumed, but at every given junction, and then they have lots of we call in Nigeria roundabouts, and most of the roundabouts or most of every junction has police officers standing by there. And let's take into cognizance the fact that this election is about 7 days away. So today makes exactly 7 days away from the election. So we do hope that maybe during the course of the day we would see more police officers around town. But for now, it's still things are just bubbling up around this place in town.
Well, thank you so much, Mercy Babajide, for joining and giving us that update. Of course, we have a few more days to election. Hopefully, peace will return to Osun State, and we'll see how that pans out. Thank you so much.